How is it going, guys? We have got some new taillights to test out on the GR86 today. I teased these a while back in a new products video, so some of you guys may know what I'm talking about, but these are the Elite Series taillights from HiRevSports.com. Now, some of you might say, Kevin, you've already installed a set of these on your car. What gives? You're right, but I installed the SBR version, which is the smoke lens, black base, and red running light. But these are the clear version, which are their CBWs. It's a clear lens, black base, and white running light. You may have seen photos posted across the forums. I know a lot of you guys are big fans of clear taillights, so I'm curious to see how these are gonna look on the car. If this is your first time seeing these taillights, don't worry. I'll run through the functions so you know exactly how they work. Let's open these up and see what we're working with. So of course, just like the SBRs, these come in a very nice package. I know that might not matter to a lot of people out there, but it's a detail that catches my eye. It's also very nicely packaged with these custom foam inserts to ensure that these get to you without any damage, which is never fun when you're opening up your new car parts. Just at first glance, even still in the plastic, I think I'm gonna like how these are gonna look, guys. Here they are, guys. These things look freaking sick. Now, I've gotta say, I didn't go into this a huge fan of clear taillights. Yes, I thought they looked cool, but now seeing them in person, they've grown on me even more. Now, I grabbed the SBR version to give you guys a side-by-side comparison. Obviously, we've got the smoked lens over here and the clear lens over here. They both have a matte black base. And you can see over here, we've got the red lens on the running lights. And over here, we have the clear or white lens on the running lights. I also grabbed another set or another taillight that I've had installed on the car that I don't think did as well of a job as these because mainly this flat lens across the top here. I think a lot of the taillights that have that flat lens kind of ruin the aesthetic on the back end of the car. Besides one, I think the Valentis do it well just because they change the layout of the lights inside, but most of the aftermarket taillights stick with the C-Light design and just customize that. But with the Elite Series taillights, they still have this indent just like the stock taillights. So this upper section here flows seamlessly into that black trim that goes across the trunk, and it looks much better in my opinion. Another small detail that I want to cover that, again, not everyone may pay attention to is this. This is a security bit tool that you're going to need that HRS provides in each set of taillights, so you can transfer over the trim piece from your stock taillights to your new taillights. And you're going to need this, otherwise you can't unscrew the screws that are holding in that trim piece. And most people do not have this in their tool set, so you'd have to go out and buy a security bit set, which is, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks, but that's another $10, $15 that you'd have to spend on top of the money you just spent on new taillights. All right, let's get these stock taillights off. We're gonna be working over on the driver's side, but obviously both sides are going to be the same. We're gonna stick a plastic pry tool into this gap right here and pry out to remove this trim piece. And that's gonna reveal two 10mm bolts right here that we'll remove. There's also a 10mm bolt on the top side of the taillight that we'll remove. Once all three bolts are out, we can remove the taillight. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, it's probably gonna be stuck on there pretty good, and you're gonna have to use a decent amount of force to pull this straight back out and off of the car. Just take your time and be careful not to scratch your paint. But since I've done this quite a few times, this should come off fairly easily. Hopefully. Oh, there we go. Now we just need to unplug it. And there we go. Do the same thing over on the passenger side, and then we can transfer the trim pieces over and install our new taillights. On the back of each taillight, there's gonna be these two security screws that are holding in the trim piece on the top. Remove those with the included tool so we can transfer them over to the new taillights. They install onto the new taillights just like they did with the stock taillights. Just make sure the tabs are lined up, and then we can reinstall these screws. All right, let's go get these things installed in the car. One more thing before we get these installed on the car. They come with a sequential turn signal, but if you don't want the sequential turn signal and you want just a normal blinking turn signal, you can change it. On the back of the taillight, you're gonna see this connection right here between a blue and black wire. If you want the normal blinking turn signal, unplug that connection. If you want the sequential turn signal, just leave it alone. It's a reverse process to install the new taillights, so we'll plug them in. I'm gonna tuck the excess wiring down into this gap, and you're gonna wanna make sure that the taillight slides onto this tab on the outer side of the car. There's also a tab on the inner side of the taillight that needs to go into the square hole on the car, and those two things are gonna ensure that the taillight is lined up properly, just like that. Now we just reinstall the bolts and reinstall the trim piece, and we're set. Now that you've seen what they look like, let's hop in the car and run through the functions. I'm gonna turn the lights on first, and you're gonna see the taillights go through their startup sequence. And then that outer sea light portion that's lit up right now is what it's gonna look like when you drive at night with your headlights on. I'm gonna step on the brake, and that's gonna be the center portion there. That's your brake light. And then if I hit the hazards, you're gonna see the sequential turn signals. Now these are a little bit different than other sequential turn signals I've seen. These kind of go across the bar instead of just extending to the end. So that's a neat feature. But like I said, if you want just a normal blinking turn signal, you have the ability to change that. I'm gonna turn the lights off so you can see what the functions look like during the day when you don't have your lights on. So here's the brakes. And again, here are the turn signals. There you have it. Let me know what you guys think. I think they look fantastic. These would look insane on a black or white car. I love how they've redesigned it, but kept this indent just like the stock taillight, so it flows through this trunk trim piece here. I don't know if I like the SBR or the CBW better. I still very much enjoy the stock taillights with my overlays installed as well, so I'm not sure. Comment down below which one is your favorite, and let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm always happy to help. That is gonna do it for today. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you guys next time.